Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Second Deal Quiz Show with your host, Anthony Darkstone.
That was a little bit of energy. Well, we know we've got this thing going called the SAM. We are the energy. We are the SAM. Well, thank you all for showing up today. And the whole idea of this is for you to chill out. And it's just going to be fun and friendly. We have a wonderful prize contributed by John Midgley, who now, as some of you will know, is the Dean of Assembly V11. What's the idea of this? With our International Assembly member from Iceland, Gunnar Sigurðsson, I drove him mad, and he wishes he hadn't produced this with me, but he did. He created some wonderful visuals. He contributed to some great questions. So I want to give a shout out to him for all his very kind help. I also want to give a shout out to Rod and to Brett. I'll introduce you to them in a moment. And these gentlemen, in fact, helped me put it together and try to make it something a little bit out of the ordinary. Before we get into the nitty-gritty of it all, let me pull up and tell you what we're going to get as a prize. We think the first prize should be, but eventually someone will get to choose it, a nice baseball cap and the MUM Phoenix deck. And of course, the top prize, there it is. That's actually created by John Midgley. For those of you who may not know him, let me very quickly introduce you to most illustrious, the SAM president.
Howdy and welcome. I'm just working backstage here today, so
I'd like to bring up on the screen is our first VP of the SAM, Rod Chow.
Hello, everyone. So I'm honored to be the adjudicator this evening for the second deal. So good luck, everyone.
How's this all work? Well, basically, we're going to start out by asking two questions. And what you do, this is very important, so you don't get disqualified. You write down your answers on a pad, and when you've done that, you send them in a private chat message to Brett Saul. Where are you, Brett? Howdy. There he is. He's
Howdy.
ready. Brett is my shotgun rider and stage manager. And
I'm hanging out backstage with Joel.
So here we go. If everybody's ready for some fun, your first two questions. Yeah, great. What happens if I get them right, Anthony? Well, you send them to Brett. Brett then picks first 10 correct answers.
And those both have to be in the message one time. Don't send me two messages. One message only with both correct answers.
Absolutely, Brett. Otherwise, you get disqualified. So he will look through it and then feed me or the adjudicator, who the 10 people are that are going to play in 3 rounds. Simple rounds. You get points for each round. I'll tell you that when we get to the round after we get our 10 people. So if you're ready, let's just go to getting the contestants on the day. To select the actual contestants we're going to play, here are your two questions. Question: which famous Las Vegas magician had as his stage name the word amazing before his name? And your second question is a visual. Which magician does this visual represent, or what is the name? I'm looking for the name. So if you get both of them or your guesses, send them to Brett. He will get the first 10 people to actually play along. If we don't get chosen as the first 10 to play, I also have a section where if you were not a contestant, you still get to play and win a prize. All right, you know what? While Brett is tallying up, I asked permission of this gentleman, and I'd like to show you his video. Well, the one and only John Midgley, whom you saw, also gave us the print. I saw that and I thought, what should we call this? You can't call it the magic quiz, the general knowledge quiz. What should I thought, hey, you know what? Well, we'll just have some fun and just call it the second deal.
Here are your top 10. The first ones that got them in to me. First one, and Rod, if you'd like to write this down so we can play along here.
Yep.
We have Steve Sabo, John Thornton, PJ, Joe Turner, Drew Cardella, Dan Sklar, George G, S. Patrick Toman, Grady Jacoby, and Mark Zajinsky. Mark Z. We'll call him Mark Z. How's that sound? Those are your top 10 players. Here's the rules, folks. From now on, we're going to be answering a bunch of questions. We're going to ask in the chat. Those 10 people should only be the only ones contacting me. Okay.
So we got 10 folks here.
Yes, we do.
Right now, the rest of you cheer them on or answer the questions as you please, and you will get your opportunity to play later on. These are for the 10 contestants. Now, each one of these questions carries 10 points. Again, answer them all on your piece of paper, type them up, and send them privately to Brett. Here's your first question. It's a mixture of magic and general knowledge. What is the capital of Brazil? Is it Brasilia, Rio de Janeiro, or Sao Paulo? Here's your second one. It's a magic question. Which well-known U.S. magician is associated with 17th century Japanese theater? Okito, Jeff McBride, or Shin Lim? And now we have a visual coming up. Take a look at it, designed by Gunnar, our co-producer, and you need to name this magician. Here we go for the next question. The smallest planet in our solar system is Mercury. What is generally accepted as the largest? Saturn, Jupiter, or Mars? Next question. Which former president of the Magic Circle was born in India and named after a Scottish hero who was an ancestor of his? Alan Shaxson, Ali Bongo, or David Berglass? So, another visual designed by Gunnar. This is the name of an effect. What is the name of this effect?
Joe Turner was the only one who got everything correct.
I told you we got smart people from Atlanta. All right.
Okay.
All right.
And just so everyone knows, Anthony, you want to read the correct answer to everyone right now, please?
Yes, sir. What is the capital of Brazil? The capital of Brazil is Brasilia. It is not Rio. It's not Sao Paulo. Which well-known U.S. magician associated with 17th century Japanese theater? That would not be Okito or Shin Lim. That would be Jeff McBride. The smallest planet in the solar system is Mercury. Generally accepted as the largest is not Saturn. It's not Mars. It's Jupiter. Which former president of the Magic Circle was born in India and named after a Scottish hero who was an ancestor of his? Not Alan Shaxson, not David Berglass, but Ali Bongo, whose real name was William Oliver Wallace. We had two visuals. Indeed, we did. The first one was a computer and a King of Diamonds, and that was Mac King. And the second visual was an effect, which was Bill Gates, and obviously the lemon, Bill in lemon.
So we can move on to our next round here.
Yes, sir.
Steve Sabo had 5 correct. John Thornton had 5 correct. PJ had 5 correct. And George G had 5 correct.
All right, here we go. Which city has a statue of a mermaid associated with it? Copenhagen, Oslo, or Venice? Next one. Name either of the two members of the cast of the TV sitcom How I Met Your Mother that are associated with magic. Here's a visual. What is this effect called? What is this effect called? By what common name amongst magicians are Zener cards known? That's Z-E-N-E-R. By what common name amongst magicians are Zener cards known? ESP cards, X-ray cards, or tarot cards? Next question. Apart from the jokers and game cards, how many cards are there in a full bridge size deck of bicycle playing cards? Is it 48, 26, or 52? Next visual. is a move in magic. Another stunning visual created by Gunnar. It's a move, not an effect. The answers. Which city has a statue of the mermaid associated with it? Copenhagen, Oslo, or Venice? Well, the answer is Copenhagen in Denmark. Name either two of the two members of the cast of the TV sitcom, or both, that are associated with magic. 20 points for each. Alison Hannigan, the presenter on Penn and Teller's Foolish, and Neil Patrick Harris, who, as you know, apart from being an actor, loves magic and indeed was a former president of the Magic Castle. And the visual, what is this effect called? Gypsy tie. By what common name amongst magicians are Zena cards known? ESP cards. They're not known as X-ray cards or tarot cards. Apart from the jokers and game cards, how many cards are there in a full bridge-sized deck of bicycle playing cards? And the answer is not 48 or 26, it's 52. And the visual that refers to a move in magic, it's French. And yeah, drop, French drop. Who is our third place winner, Brett?
Our third place winner with 100 points, that would be 5 correct answers, was Steve Sabo. Top two.
That we're all going to be second dealing with.
With perfect scores of 140s, George G. and Joe Turner.
Here's the thing. It's a kind of play on the second deal because we've got two winners. One of you guys is going to be first, all right, at the end of all of this. Everybody else play along and cheer them, please, all right? I have a question that I can ask you, or I can offer you a second deal question. I'll give you part of the first question, and then you get to choose. What city, you either take it, or you say, no, I want the second deal.
Both of you start with a clean slate. Okay, so the choice of first is completely random. Joe Turner, cut to this point. George G then gets an opportunity to choose top deal or second deal for his card. What would you prefer, top deal or second deal?
I said top, but you couldn't hear me.
Okay, top deal. Your card is the seven.
7 of diamonds.
7 of diamonds.
It's a 7.
Joe,
Okay.
you get the second deal, which is the 8 of diamonds. Okay, so Joe gets to go first.
What city, that's all you're going to get, or you can have the second deal, which is the full question.
I have to pick the question based on that little.
That's it. Yeah, because I'm hiding the top card, but at least Joel is.
Oh,
Rod is, yeah. Rod is.
And what does he get if he takes the second deal? That's the question here.
Well, it doesn't matter. He still gets choice of
It's
question.
the
Yeah,
same. Okay.
it's
There's
the same
no-
points.
No, but the question that you forfeit goes to your opponent.
Yep.
Question you forfeit goes to your opponent.
Yep.
Oh, I see.
Yep.
Well, I have no idea what to do here, so I'll go with I'll take the what city.
In what city in India is the famous Taj Mahal located?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Yes, sir. In what city, what is the name of the city in India in which the famous Taj Mahal is located?
You had to pick a place I've not been. It's for those of us, it's I can't remember how it's Agra.
Got it. Well done. Give the man a round of applause and 30 points.
30
Well
points
done,
for Joe.
sir. That's it. Yep. Okay.
George gets to answer the second deal question right now.
Okay. Here's the second deal question, George. Which famous magician featured a violin that took a bow at the end of his main act?
Norm Nielsen.
Correct. Okay. Over to you, Joe. George, which country? That's it. Or do you want the second deal?
You know what? I think Joe's going to beat me in the long run, so he had the guts. I'll go with it. I'll just try the question.
Which country has a statue called a merlion associated with it?
A merlion.
That's Merlion.
Off the top of my head, I cannot think of anything. No.
All right. Can I give him the answer, Mr.
You can get the answer. Yes.
Yeah. Singapore.
Mr. Turner gets the second deal question.
Here we go, Joe. Which magician used parts of ancient Sanskrit texts spoken in English as his script in one of his signature pieces?
What?
Yeah, exactly.
that again?
Which magician used parts of ancient Sanskrit texts spoken in English as his script in one of his signature pieces?
The only person I can imagine doing anything like that is Eugene Berger.
Correct. Gypsy thread. Yep, perfect. Okay. Next question goes to whom, Mr. Adjudicator?
It goes to Joe.
Modern tech equipment.
Let's go with the second deal.
The second deal. Which one of the 7 wonders of the world is associated with a famous magician?
I have so many different answers. I'm sure there's probably wonderful magicians associated with the pyramids. So that seems like a good question.
Okay, so what do I do, Mr. Adjudicator? Is your time up for
That
Joe?
final answer?
I'll say Stonehenge.
No. Which one of the 7 wonders of the world is associated with a famous magician, the Great Wall of China? I go to George. Is that right,
Sure.
Mr. Adjudicator?
That's correct, with the top deal question.
Okay. Which piece of modern tech equipment derives its symbol and its name from a Danish king? Repeat that.
Modern tech.
A piece of modern tech equipment.
I'll just take a guess and say Bluetooth.
Your guess would be totally accurate because it was named after Harald, not Harold, but Harald Bluetooth. So, next question, Mr. Adjudicator. You're
Goes
keeping
to
tally.
George. Goes to George.
Go to George. Okay. Fine. Which empire?
Oh, no. That's it,
No.
right? That's it. Okay, good. Top deal is 2 words, right? That's it.
That's it.
Yeah.
Oh, he has the second deal question. The second deal. Which MUM editor in the 20th century and his wife were past presidents of the SAM? Don't you just state it? when you know-
Jay Marshall.
No, sir. The answer to that question is Dave Goodsell. Joe gets to have the top deal question. Okay. Which empire is generally associated with Peru?
It's one of two. It's either I'll go Aztec.
Which empire is generally associated with Peru? Inca. Next question to Joe. Which state?
I'll take the
Partial
state.
question, top deal, partial question.
I'll take the top deal question. That's
You'll take the top deal question.
yeah,
Okay.
just to make it easy.
Which state in the USA has another country's flag as part of its state flag?
Hawaii.
Well done. Correct. Hawaii has the Union Jack in one corner.
Second deal question
Goes
goes
to
to
George
George.
because he got it right. Okay. What was the pen name of June Burroughs Mussey, or Mussey, as some people pronounce it?
Yeah, taking a guess would be an insult, so no, I do not know.
Do you want the answer? Henry Hay, what is the capital of?
What is the capital of? Sure, we'll just try that one.
You want to try that one? Okay.
Sure.
What is the capital of the Czech Republic?
Capital of Czech Republic. I know this. Yeah, I'm just gonna go with the first guess I got is Prague.
Correct. What do I do with that second deal question that I
Second
have?
deal question goes to Joe.
All right. Which member of the British royal family is an MIMC with gold star at the Magic Circle?
That would be Prince Charles.
That'll be correct. Yes.
So we do have a winner. Both of you were excellent competitors. So
So-
second place winner, who will receive? Anthony, what was the prize for second place winner?
We have an MUM Phoenix deck of cards.
The first
Yeah,
place
you may well
prize
have one.
is a print of Slidini.
So I guess you would like to announce the winner,
Yes, so
adjudicator.
yes, thank you, Anthony, our host. And let's give a nice hand to Anthony for being such an excellent host for this portion of the
Oh.
show.
Thank you.
Thank you,
Thank
Anthony.
you.
And for Gunnar for coming up with such amazing questions for everyone. So for second place, and the winner of the SAM Mark Deck is George G. Congratulations. And our
Yep.
overall winner is Joe Turner, who is our champion, the second deal champion, and he wins the Slidini poster.
Okay, now, fun time for all the attendees. Everybody else gets to play. Here's the questions for everybody else. J. Scott Berry, Gunnar Johnson, Jason Ledane, Dan Garrett, Paul Vigil, John Sturck. Apart from being magicians, all of those names are accomplished in another performing art. Which one? Now we're going to play a clip, which Most Illustrious has got. Listen real close to the clip. Okay, that's it. If you've been paying attention to all the names that I called out twice, one of them is actually playing in this clip. I need to get his name. And the next question. In the English board game of Scrabble, which two letters are worth 10 points each? I'm going to be real nice and give you a choice here. A Q and a Z, an X and a Y, or a W and a J. And I'm going to pull up now 3 more visuals done by the magnificent Gunnar. And these visuals, actually, that's the first one. Write the magician's name down. Here's a second one. And finally, the third one.
The time is up, folks. No one had the correct 6 answers. First one came in with 5 correct answers was Ellie Kelly.
Oh, okay, Ellie Kelly. I trust you got my email and that of Most Illustrious. We need to have your address to send you a Phoenix SUM deck.
And now if you want to give the correct answers.
Okay, I will. J. Scott Berry, Gunnar Sigmundsson, Jason Ledane, Dan Garrett, Paul Vigil, and John Sturck are also accomplished in another performing art, and they're all musicians. Now, can you identify the clip? Well, I'll tell you who that is. PNP, Dan Garrett. The English board game of Scrabble, which 2 letters are worth 10 points each? It was a Q and a Z. The visuals, if you just pull them up real quick, please. Anybody want to tell me who this is?
My buddy Scott Wells.
Absolutely. It's our buddy, Scott Wells. Yeah, absolutely. And the next one.
I got that one.
Anthony Darkstone.
Darkstone.
Yeah, Anthony Darkstone. That's it. Yeah. And the last one.
Rod.
Yeah. Keep going. Keep going.
Chow.
Rod Chow.
Oh, ciao. That's it. Yeah. Well, I think we've come to that point where I think it can't hurt for me to say huge thank you to Most Illustrious and the amazing Brett Saul. Huge thanks to Gunnar for supplying a couple of the more interesting questions and also some stunning visuals. John Midgley, obviously, to Mano Rodriguez for putting some of the SAM prizes. And last but not least, well, hey, you know what? Thanks everybody for coming along and just having some fun.